Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
College graduation, it's the day so many people look forward to, but once your son or daughter walks across that stage, the clock starts ticking on student loan repayment. Recent numbers show 64% of students take out student loans, and right now, Americans owe a whopping $1.4 trillion in student debt. And as Marcy Marbut shows us, the cost of college is something students think about even on this happy occasion of graduation day.
Joshua Kanani graduated today from NDSU with a degree in computer engineering. While he was excited to graduate, the cost of his 4 years of college troubles him.
I don't like being in debt, so I plan to work and try to pay it off as quick as possible.
Kanani is just one of the many students across the country who have to worry about paying off student loans.
In total, I have about $25,000.
And even with financial aid, students are still finding themselves in debt.
Students do get aid, which helps them, but for a lot of them, it's not enough. And when they graduate, they have $30,000, $50,000, $70,000 in debt.
And many spend their whole life trying to pay off their debt. On average, it takes 21 years for a bachelor degree holder to pay off student loans.
I'm a financial advisor, so I see people that can't invest until they're way too old. You know, it's just they're constantly paying these things off.
Starting in July, interest rates will rise on new federal loans from 3.76% to 4.45%, meaning students will have to pay even more money as they borrow for school next year.
Thousands of students, if not more, have incredible amounts of student debt when they leave college, and it's becoming a major problem for them and for society, and we need to address it.
In Fargo, Marcy Marbut, Valley News Live.
Some things you can do to tackle student loans include getting a job in a career field where your loans can be forgiven if you work for a period of time, like nursing or teaching, or you can find a company that offers some sort of student loan payoff if you work for them for a set amount of time. Another end of the school year tradition, the changing of command. Cadets with Fargo Public Schools Air Force Junior ROTC program turned over command to a new recruit class today. More than 80 Fargo students participated in today's change of command ceremony. The command flag was passed to a new commander to oversee the upcoming school year. In addition to the change of command, cadets also showed off their marching skills, and this was the 11th year for the ceremony. Today has been absolutely gorgeous. So, Justin, is there more of that good weather in store for us?
Yeah, thank you, Cornelius. Good evening, everybody. And as we go through the next couple of days, we're going to have our dry moments, but we are definitely entering a wetter weather pattern. But today, absolutely gorgeous out there. Current temperature of 84 in Fargo, 83 Jamestown, 84 at Aberdeen, 76 up at Devil's Lake, and 69 at Bemidji. We did see the wind pick up as we went through later on into the afternoon. Grand Forks, 25 miles per hour from the east, and into the Sisseton area, we're seeing winds mainly from the south at 16 miles per hour. So a little breezy if you have evening plans, but mainly dry. Plenty of sunshine out there for the next few hours, then clear skies as we go through the overnight period. You have to look all the way off into Montana and Wyoming before you find any precipitation out there. So there's your weather into the 70s over the next few hours, 60s after that, as we are going to keep clear skies and a light southeasterly breeze. Some significant rainfall is possible as we go through next week. We'll have the details in your Mother's Day forecast coming up later in the newscast.
Thanks so much, Justin. A man was arrested after leading troopers on a chase in Grand Forks. 26-year-old Jordan Oman from Arvilla, North Dakota, is facing fleeing an officer and DUI charges. Around 2 p.m., a call came in about a suspected reckless driver heading north on I-29 south of Grand Forks. North Dakota Highway Patrol attempted to stop Oman just south of the 32nd Avenue exit. The vehicle was clocked by radar at 88 miles per hour. Oman continued on, but eventually went into the Lowe's parking lot in Grand Forks, where he was arrested. Officials with American Crystal Sugar say they sent their final offer to union leaders after 8-day talks of contracts. Star Tribune reports that Crystal Sugar and the union are negotiating over a contract that ends July 31st, covering about 1,200 workers. Vice President of Administration Lisa Borgen stated that the union walked out on negotiations. The union local president says they are done negotiating after the company moved away from union interest and that both sides are still far apart. Failed negotiations in 2011 resulted in a lockout that lasted 2 years. A Fargo man believes a bobcat did this to his 12-year-old lab. He lives in South Fargo and says people who live on the outskirts of any town need to be more careful when they're letting their pets or children outside.
I just had 2 little girls, You know, so I mean, if it's big enough to try to take down a decent-sized lab, you know, a little kid wouldn't be much of a challenge.
The North Dakota Game and Fish Department says it's quite possible a bobcat could be spotted in areas near the river and cities across the valley, because when bobcats reach a certain age, they have the desire to explore, and doing it along a water source like the Red River would make sense. Moorhead police need your help finding Cheyenne Dakota Butler, a teenager who disappeared back in April. Authorities have been tracking down a number of leads, but nothing has panned out so far. They believe she could be in the Fargo-Moorhead area or around Grand Forks. If you have any information, you're asked to contact police. White supremacist Craig Cobb says he no longer owns the church in Nome, North Dakota, which was burned down back in March. The fire was intentionally set, and investigators continue to search for the person who started it. Cobb says he has been reimbursed the $8,000 he paid for the building. He says he is still willing to buy property pretty much anywhere in the state if it becomes available. Ranchers have a lot to deal with, especially during calving season, but after nearly 3 decades in the business, a Beulah area cattleman came across something new. A calf was born on Wednesday with an extra set of legs on its neck. Reporter Andrew Horn gives us a look.
It started with a confusing phone call from rancher Gerald Skalski's wife, Deanne.
I was at the sales barn on Wednesday, and my wife, Deanne, calls me up and says this heifer is calving and there's something strange going on.
Gerald was in for a shock when he got home.
So I come home in an hour, and then I understood. There's extra legs on the neck. Okay, now I get what you're trying to tell me.
The calf was born with a polygenic
He's done, you're done.
causing it to have an extra set of hind legs attached at the neck. Polygenic defects can be fatal in calves, but not in Skalski's case.
It's very full of vitality. First calf heifer, she's a very good heifer. 2-3 more days, and I won't be able to hold it like I just held it.
Although the calf is living without problems, Skalski is still considering surgery.
If it dries up and starts to fall off, or if I think it's going to be detrimental to the calf's health, I will take it into the vet, and I will say, okay, let's cut it off or band it off.
For now, the calf will keep moving right along with the rest of the cows.
Skalski said he will make a decision about the removing extra limbs within the next week. As the nation gathers to honor those that protect and serve, many from our area will be there to honor Officer Jason Mosier. His name is added to the National Law Enforcement Memorial wall, and this picture from the Fargo Police Facebook page shows a group gathering after it landing in our nation's capital. Group members are all wearing thin blue line bands to show they are Mosier strong. Dozens of family members, fellow officers, and others from the FM area will be there. A candlelight vigil is scheduled for tomorrow. The service at the memorial takes place on Monday on the front line of the Capitol. Mosier's name and those of 142 other officers killed last year will be read and inscribed on one of the 2 marble walls. Valley News Live's Christy Larson will be there, so be sure to join us for the live coverage throughout the day, starting with the Valley today. Dozens got their running shoes on for the 3rd annual Officers Down 5K in East Grand Forks. The event celebrates officers who put their lives on the line daily to keep our community safe and honor those who have fallen in the line of duty. Along with the 5K run and walk, there was live music, a canine demonstration, dunk a cop, and inflatable games. Later on Valley News Live at 6, what changes the University of Minnesota School of Nursing is making to help deal with substance abuse.
And a high today of 87 degrees. That's 18 degrees above normal. We were dry today. That's going to change. We have rain chances 6 out of the next 7 days. Details coming up.